this is Rich from Create Logos. So today what we're going to be doing is using the rotate copies menu or function that can be located on the path effects menu, the live path effects menu. It enables you to form these different shapes. Some of them can be intricate or simple and basic, like clocks or watch faces, etc. So let's get up to the top and let's get into this. So it's only a quick one today. I'm just going to left click on the top guideline to pull down a guide, and left click on the side over here, so it's just overlapping, and drag that across as well. Make sure your enable menu is enable snapping is on, and what we need is the enable snapping to the center of bounding boxes and snapping to the guides. Doesn't matter if a few of these extra are still on, but those are the two that we're going to be using, so make sure those are on. Bring these two together so they cross over, and what we're going to do is create a circle holding the shift and the control button together. And I'm going to left click on the canvas and draw this out. Now mine at the moment is a stroke, yours may be full. In other words, it's filled in. If that is the case, all you got to do then is just press the X to remove the fill on the inside, and holding the shift button, just making sure that you actually do have a stroke around. So in other words, it's just the line we want on the outside. I'm going to pull this down to about the center, and because we've got the midpoint, enable snapping to the midpoints, that has found the intersection here with the grids, the guide. Make it a little bit bigger, just so it's easier to see. And this basically is going to be our reference to work on. We're going to create a little shape. So if I come over to the circles menu again, create another circle. And this time we're going to fill it, so just click on any color you want. Hold the shift button down, click on the X and remove that outer line. Zoom in. My opacity at the moment is about 50, just so I can see through it. It enables me to work with other objects and see through things. Come over to the squares and rectangle tool, and I'm just going to create a little rectangle. And let's reduce the opacity of that down to 50 as well, so we can see through it and we can see what we're overlapping. I'm going to align these two up together and select them. And if we just put them on to the vertical axis and horizontal axis. Now all we're going to do is select the left, hold the control button down. I'm just going to slide that down just a bit. Now your gear, you might not want it to be rounded on the inside. I think, to be honest, when it comes to logo designs and so on, it's nice to have them rounded, just because I don't know, it just tends to work a little, it flows a little bit better, shall we say. Looks better more pleasing to the eye. You could make this a rectangle shape or almost a hexagonal type shape. I'll get my words out. I'm going to just make sure this is up to the top. And we want this to be a little bit chunky at the bottom and a little bit chunky on the sides. So a nice fair amount to the bottom here and to the sides. Maybe we'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go, that doesn't look too bad. Select both of them together, holding the shift button. And what we're going to do is go path difference. That's punched a hole, and that's going to form the first of our cogs. Reduce this in size. We're going to plonk that on the top of our circle there. You can see it's found the midpoint. So let's just drag this up a little bit. So there we go. Maybe a little bit smaller. Just remove the enable snapping off, just so that it doesn't pull you into our reference point. And I'm going to just overlap this corner here and this corner here just on our circle. And what we can do then is turn that back on, double click on this to bring up these nodes, grab hold of this where it just highlights in the center here, left click on it and just drag this up, and it will find the center line. If you want to, you can drag it up to the edge here, if you the edge of the circle, like so. I find just putting it somewhere in the middle is fine. There we go. It doesn't look too bad. And if I zoom out, we've got to try to imagine this multiple times all the way around. Might be a little bit too big. It just depends on how much of an intricate gear that you actually want to create. If you want one with plenty of these little holes, if you like, all the way around, then obviously just make a smaller one. I think this will do for this example. Now what we're going to do is come up to the path menu, path effects. Whilst this is selected, the little plus sign will appear. Press on that, brings up the live path effects menu. Scroll down to rotate copies, or you can search for it in the top menu button here just by simply typing the word rotate. Select it, and you can see it's created a copy of this, overlapping each other, granted, and they are forming some form of circle. At the moment there are 6 copies. If we have a look on the menu over here, it's obviously what I was working on last, 6 copies. Edit the nodes tool on the left hand side here, forms these little square little nodes, and also you can see the handles. You have the white handle here on the outside, and this is a rotation handle on the outside. We want the inside one, and we're just going to left click on that and drag that down to the center point and let it snap onto this guide. And you can see they are perfectly aligned on our circle. Now this is where we had our guides. With them selected, what we're then going to do is just increase the number of copies. And it keeps adding more and more copies, and we'll zoom in to this area here, just pressing Control and zooming in. We want these to join up. Maybe one more. Yeah, it's time to join up there. Come over to the method, click on this, and fuse the paths together. And you can see they're overlapping each other here, a little bit of a crisscross. So we come up to our master template. Whatever we do to this one is going to affect the rest of them. So zooming in. So whatever we're doing to the right side here will affect the right side on this one. And with it selected, if these nodes aren't selected, you can select it again. We're just going to drag this node handle down, sorry, the node down. You can see that it's pulled that side down. Maybe that side is a little bit lower. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. Come over to this side as well. I'm just going to match that up. One more up. You can zoom in for this if you want. It doesn't matter, to be honest, if it's not 100%, as long as you don't see any tears. If we zoom out, that is basically sort of our gear. We want to make this a little bit chunkier. If we want to, we can select the stroke circle that's on the inside there. And if we come up to the stroke menu, let's make this 20, make it a little bit bolder, not too bad. And if I select the outer blue, we're going to turn that to an object, and that releases that from the path and it forms one object. Selecting the inner circle as well, that's currently still a stroke. We're going to select stroke to path, and we can then hold on the shift button, select both of them together and go union. And there we have our gear. Very simple effect, very simple method. Now obviously our shape today was the cog. And it can be anything at all, whether or not you create little lines. All I did to create the clock was just create one line. 60 on the right hand side obviously formed 60 minutes. And then I just went through and created the hour, just fattened that one out, fattened the 5, 10, 15 minutes all the way around, except to form a clock. And you can have fun with it. You can create quite a few different shapes, and certainly useful when it comes to creating logos. So I hope today's tutorial has been helpful. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you soon.